Good evening. Really quick note. Everyone at home is communicating that they can't hear any sound. So just FYI, sound problem. Okay, thank you. I thank you for allowing me to be here this evening. I want to talk about the Employee Board of Review position. And I absolutely urge the new council to please consider this very small thing and this token of a willingness to bring the city back together by giving the lion's share of the Upland City employees the person that they have chosen as their nominee to serve on their Employee Board of Review. This is such a simple token, and it just becomes such a kick in the teeth when they can't even possibly get these small things accomplished, especially after working with all deliberate speed to appoint a nominee, having to wait 4 months for this to even come on an agenda. It seems like these nominees are ignored until there's somebody that's also added to the pool, no matter how long it takes before our mayor will consider filling that spot. Similar to the planning board, it's been vacant for 2 months, and there's 3 people that put their names in. We can't even get them interviewed. So I would just urge the new council that these city employees are looking to you. They were thrilled that new leadership was elected in November. They're expecting you to care about what's going on with them. And such a simple thing should not be like pulling teeth. And going back through the videos that I made for the uplandreport.com, I couldn't help but realize that Mr. Beerbaum is so incredibly qualified. 35-year former public employee for counties, federal government, and the state. He was a fire chief. He worked as a police officer in both the military and as a civilian. He can understand their struggles. He has earned their trust. That is who they want, and that should be it. And so the 4 new members, I beg of you, please, let's start doing some goodwill and put things back together again and try to change the course of the city for the positive. Thank you very much.
After Ms. James is Jim Thomas.
Good evening, Council. I'm speaking on 14A. I have grave concerns over the process that has taken place for the appointment of the Personnel Board of Review. At the last council meeting, a no vote result was recorded for candidate Beerbaum after both candidates spoke and council members discussed both appointees. After the no vote of Rudy's candidate, he stated he had come into some new information. Why didn't you make such a statement before your candidate of choice was voted on? Why didn't you share this new information of which you said you had with the council at the beginning of the discussion, the deliberation period? Why did you keep quiet about it until after a no vote was recorded on your candidate of choice? These actions have resulted in a repeat vote of which we are seeing this evening. Rudy's actions set a bad precedent. If every time a council member's choice loses, will that council member then claim to have more information? Will we have a do-over vote? Is that what is to happen? This seems to be a beginning and troubling pattern. It was Rudy's responsibility to present his statements prior to the vote and not afterward.
I would like to move that we select Mr. Beerbaum.
All right. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All right. Let's vote. Okay.
I motion for Steve Beerbaum to be on the board of personnel review.
Okay. Is there a second?
Can we second?
Yes.
I'll second.
All right. Let's vote.
Oh, can we discuss?
If you would like.
Yes, I would.
Then I don't know where people are getting this idea that I had some information that nobody had prior to the last meeting. All I did was say that there was 163 employees that wanted Mr. Beerbaum and 27 that didn't. And from the agenda here, my numbers were off. So I didn't know anything that no one else knew. The employees reached out to me just like residents reach out to me
Personnel Board of Review was before you for consideration at the February 25th meeting. At that time, Council continued the item for further discussion and also requested information regarding the numbers of employees represented by each group. That information has been included in your staff report this evening. Additionally, at the meeting on February 25th, Councilmember Elliott made a motion to appoint Steve Beerbaum to the board. That motion was seconded by Councilmember Zuniga. However, the motion failed with Mayor Stone, Councilmember Felix, and Councilmember Velto opposed. Therefore, in order for Mr. Beerbaum to be appointed, the motion to appoint must be made by either Mayor Stone, Councilmember Felix, or Councilmember Velto. This item also does require a four-fifths vote of the whole council to appoint someone to this board. So at this time, staff is recommending that the council select from the appointees of Gifty Beats and Steve Beerbaum and to ratify the appointment to the Personnel Board of Review with a term to expire in June of 2019. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
Okay, great. I do have a question for you. Who uses this review board?
It would be for, like, employee grievances would go before the board.
Is that for all employees?
The current MOUs offer binding arbitration for police and police management, so that is appealed to binding arbitration and not to this board. But the directions for this group, which of who appoints, were established prior to that MOU being adopted and that change being made in the MOU.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, so we have Mr. Beerbaum and we have Gifty Beats. Does anyone want to make a motion?
When was the last time this committee met? Like, when was that? Yeah.
I don't have the exact date. I know in my time, I've been in the city clerk's office since November of 2016. They have not met in that time.
Okay, so it's not very active committee then.
No.
And when does this term end? It ends in June, right? June 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And from what the employees decide to email out to us, it looks like a majority of the employees would like Beerbaum and a majority of the police officers as well. And the mid-management actually wants Gifty. Right? If I remember correctly. You know what, then I'll throw out the motion to reinstate him and see if that works out.
Reinstate who?
Well, to get, since one of us have to do to see if Steve Beerbaum can actually be on this board. So put him on the board?
So you're saying to put Steve Beerbaum on the board, and we'll make him. So can you make a motion, please?
I motion for Steve Beerbaum to be on the board, personnel review.
Okay. Is there a second?
Can we second?
Yes.
I'll second.
All right. Let's vote,
Oh, can we discuss?
if you would like.
Yes, I would. To me, the city employees, which include the management, the police association, and the city employees and the city management employees, this is their choice. And I think it's really important, since the negotiations have gone on. My understanding is that they have had the opportunity to review the candidates, and they're standing behind their support of Steve Beerbaum. I would like us to respect the employees, and this isn't a powerful position, but this is some token that we respect their choices. Now, at some future date, I would like to actually, and I don't know if this is the time to do it, actually propose a different alternative, since the police don't use this. This was done prior to the police, when they had, the MOU process. But I don't know if tonight, after we get done with this, if this is a time to make a motion for a different type of procedure, or is that something that has to be put on the agenda at a different time?
Yes.
A different time?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so I'll second.
I'd like to say something. I don't know where people are getting this idea that I had some information that nobody had prior to the last meeting. All I did was say that there was 163 employees that wanted Mr. Beerbaum and 27 that didn't. And from the agenda here, my numbers were off. So I didn't know anything that no one else knew. The employees reached out to me just like residents reach out to me before every meeting and ask me to vote this way because this is their choice, or a resident tells me to do this or asks me to do something because that's in their interest and that's what they like. So all I did was vote based on what the employees that reached out to me asked me to do. I didn't know anything that was a secret or that no one else knew. That's all.
Thank you. Any other comment or questions? All right, so we'll vote. All right. Really, you guys, is this a business meeting or a fun house?